Hi Virgo, in this reading I'm going to look at messages for Halloween. I'm going to look at past loved ones and ancestors. I'm going to draw a card on that. The next one is spirit guides, messages from spirit guides, and then messages from your angels and messages from your higher self. So I've drawn an oracle, Halloween oracle, and that is eternal love. Love is live to love. Love is here, is love. I can't really read this. And it transcends physical death. I'm going to grab my glasses. Love is love is love. Did I say that? And it transcends physical death. Yeah. Wow. Eternal love. Okay, so I've already shuffled, so I'll give it a little bit of a shuffle. So the first one is going to be from ancestors and or loved one or loved ones. And that card is the Strength card. On this deck, it's number 11. The next one is, what did I say it was? Spirit guides. That is the Two of Wands. From your angels is the Page of Pentacles. From your higher self is the King of Swords. Okay, so I might need to bring that down. Then underneath the deck, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. We've got another 2. Quite often when I'm doing readings, I get 3 cards of the same number. So we've got 11, adds up to 2, 2 and 2, the High Priestess. The High Priestess, I'll see if I put that there to move my pumpkin out the way. Damn. The High Priestess talks about knowing. Knowing, having a sense of knowing. I think that's one of the Claires. I can't think which one. Clear cognizance, I think. So the ancestors, okay. Strength. What I'm getting with that is that they know you're putting on a brave face. And they know what you're going through and what you have been through. And there's almost, I'm getting the message that there's a sense of something cracking, some sort of facade cracking, or a covering cracking and breaking open, you know, like it's an egg breaking open. It's a bit like a volcano. It's almost like there's a volcano, you know, there. it's like after the volcano has erupted and then, it's time to settle. So there could have been a tower moment or a series of tower moments, and you're in the process of dealing with that internally, dealing with emotions around that. So on the one hand, you're dealing with that, but then on the other hand, there's this stuff going on internally that is a struggle, and that's being acknowledged. That's being acknowledged, and I've been told to explain more about the Strength card and the meaning of the Strength card. I'm actually getting an overlay of like the Temperance card, so it's a lot of that kind of energy as well. There's a similarity, and you may be consciously trying to balance things. The Strength card comes up when when you have the strength to do what is required, but you've really got to draw on it. You've really got to use willpower and determination to really get to that level and reach that strength. It's almost like that volcano, the lava, the molten lava, it's still in the core. There's something in the core that needs to come to the surface. And the message that I'm getting is to not be afraid to allow that to surface. And that you don't have to stay with the old. There can be a new, and there is a new you developing. It might not be clear on how that looks. You might not be clear on how you look, or how the situation looks, or the future looks. I'm going to move on to the spirit guides, and the spirit guides is the Two of Wands. This is kind of an energy of contemplation, and it really is the card of choices, and it's a reminder that you do have choices, that sometimes you might feel that you don't have a choice, or that the choice is limited, or the choice, there's one reasonable choice and the others are crap. And what I'm getting with this is to pause and to not rush into any decisions, particularly big decisions, because there could be something else on the horizon that you're not aware of. Something that this new development in your personality or in your persona is going to enable you to see or to draw towards you. From your angels, this is the typical Page of Pentacles energy, really, of focusing. And even though she's got the cloud or the mist in the background, she's still focusing on what she needs to focus on. And with this sense of, a bit of uncertainty and needing to make a decision, it's still important to focus on what is important to you. And that can be just everyday things. It could be your health. There could be a message coming through to pay attention to your health, or to, if you are already doing that, to continue that on. I often see this card when it's continue on the focus of something that is going to bring you some sort of material wealth. You know, something, doesn't have to be money, but it's something that you can see and feel. See and feel and do is what I've got with this. And it means that whatever you have in mind, whether it's an idea or it's a task that you are doing, that you can learn from. You know, if you can learn from something, it's going to be beneficial for you, and that's what I've got from the angels. From your higher self, I was going to say the Father of Swords, so that's interesting. I wonder if there's, you know, a father energy coming in from a past loved one, or just a, you know, like a male energy, or somebody who's your protector, you know, and the higher self can be just that. The higher self is the all-knowing. The higher self knows you best and knows what's best for you. And that is the energy of the King of Swords. It's an energy of seeing into the distance, seeing, in this case, you know, somebody has been slain by a sword. It may have even been the King of Swords who did that. So I feel that it's partly saying to leave any guilt behind. If there is guilt about something that's happened, or the way you've been, or the way you've acted or haven't acted, or said or haven't said, etc., is to leave guilt behind, and to look at guilt and shame, and to look at the bigger picture. And this card being next to it, you know, this eternal love card, that certainly does relate to past loved ones and ancestors. I feel it can also relate to love that has died, or love that, you know, unrequited love, or love that just didn't work out, or love that you've never found. Or that you feel that you've never found. You know, you haven't found it in a person, perhaps. You haven't had the level of a relationship or emotional intimacy that you have, that you feel is owed to you, or that you've been seeking. This is saying that there is, you know, eternal love. There is love in different ways, and it could be a message for some to look at love, definitely not only in, you know, a friendship level or in a romantic level, but there's something at the core of you that is love anyway. And that love, no matter what disappointments or whatever has happened, is still there deep inside, and that is with everybody. You know, everybody has a soul, and that soul has at its essence love. When people pass over, they don't talk about hate, they talk about love. So, you know, that's where the eternal love comes from, that term. I feel that there's a knowing within you about that. You know, if you haven't connected to somebody who's passed over, then maybe you might be able to get some sort of connection this Halloween period. But even if you don't, this is saying that that person, that those ancestors are connected to you and you are connected to them, as we are connected to each other. And that can be a source of love, you know, to humanity, to a collective. I feel that this Halloween is about knowledge and getting more knowledge about these aspects of yourself, your higher self, your spirit guides, the angels, or a deity that you connect to, and also ancestors and past loved ones. It could be that there's, you know, an increased understanding in those areas. Happy Halloween, Virgo.